All right, let's get right into it. We're about to explore how to humanize AI generated content. This process is going to be hands on, so follow along closely as we break it down with few clear examples. First up, we'll start with the basics. Here we go. We've got ChatGPT ready, and the prompt we're entering is simple. Explain quantum computing in 500 words. Let's see what it gives us. As expected, ChatGPT delivers a solid explanation. We're going to copy this response because next up we're going to test it for AI detectability. Now let's move over to ZeroGPT, a tool specifically designed to detect AI generated text. We paste the content, and here comes the result. 89.74% of the content is flagged as AI generated. That's pretty high, so we know we need to make some adjustments. Now back to ChatGPT. Here's where the magic happens. We apply a set of prompts to revise this content, but don't worry, I'll break those down in more detail later in this video. For now, let's see what happens. We get the revised response, copy it again, and head back to ZeroGPT to see the change. And there we go. ZeroGPT now shows 68.69%. A decent drop, but still not where we want it to be. So what's the next move? Back to ChatGPT one more time. This time we use a highly specific prompt. Strictly change the sequence of words in every alternate sentence, but do not change the content. Let's see what that does. Once we have the updated text, we'll copy it and head back to ZeroGPT. We paste it in, and here comes the result. Boom! We're down to just 9.77% of the content being flagged as AI generated. That's a huge drop, and this is exactly what we're aiming for. So what just happened? We used ChatGPT to generate the initial content, then refined it step by step by applying targeted prompts. First, we revised it for a basic reduction in AI detectability. Then, with a more aggressive technique, changing the sequence of words in alternate sentences, we brought the AI detection score way down. Simple but effective. And there you have it, a complete workflow to humanize AI generated content. By using just a few tweaks in ChatGPT and verifying with ZeroGPT, you can drastically reduce the AI detectability of your content. Continue to the next example. All right, here we go with the second example. Once again, we're going to dive into humanizing AI generated content using a similar process, but with a slightly different outcome this time. We start off just like before, opening ChatGPT 4 and submitting the prompt. Explain quantum computing in 500 words. ChatGPT gives us the response, and once again, we're going to copy it to check its detectability. We open ZeroGPT, paste the response, and wow, this time it detects 100% of the content as AI generated. That's the full score. So obviously, we need to make some serious revisions to this one. Now let's head back to ChatGPT. This time we'll use the revision prompt. Strictly change the sequence of words in every alternative sentence. Let's see how this tweak works. ChatGPT revises the content, and we copy the updated response. Back to ZeroGPT, we paste the revised text, and hold on, look at this. It now detects 0% of the content as AI generated. That's quite the dramatic shift. But before we celebrate, let's slow down for a second. Here's the catch. It doesn't always work out this way. What just happened here is a lucky case. Sometimes tweaking the sentence structure can give you a perfect score, but don't be fooled. This won't always be the result. It's more about trial and error. So while we got lucky this time with a 0% AI detection, it's not something you can rely on consistently. The process worked, but often you'll still need to make additional refinements to really humanize the content. To fully understand this, let's continue to the third example. All right, let's dive into the third example. This time, we'll see how a different sequence of prompts can make all the difference in humanizing AI content. We start off just like before. Once again, we submit the prompt to ChatGPT 4. Explain quantum computing in 500 words. ChatGPT delivers a response, and as usual, we'll copy that text and move over to ZeroGPT to check for AI detectability. We paste the response into ZeroGPT and it detects 98.4% of the content as AI generated. Nearly all of it is flagged, So we're definitely going to need to make some changes. Now we head back to ChatGPT. This time we apply the same prompt we used before. Strictly change the sequence of words in every alternative sentence. After ChatGPT revises the text, we copy the new version. We paste the updated text into 0GPT again, and this time the detection drops to 48.08% AI generated. A decent improvement, but we're still not quite there. So what's next? Now we apply a set of more specific prompts to refine the content even further. After that revision, we'll copy the updated response and return to 0GPT. We paste the revised text into 0GPT, and here we go. This time, it detects only 12.87% of the content as AI generated. That's a significant drop from where we started. Now, what's interesting about this example is the difference in the order of prompts compared to the previous ones. In this case, applying the specific set of prompts after the initial revision made a bigger impact than changing the sequence right away. The process is all about refining step by step and finding the right approach. For this fourth example, let's switch things up a bit. Instead of using the same old quantum computing prompt, we'll try something new. This time, we're asking ChatGPT to explain fluid mechanics in 500 words. Let's see how this goes. We paste the response into 0GPT, and it detects 96.64% of the content as AI generated. That's a high score, so we know we'll need to make some revisions. Now we return to ChatGPT and apply the same set of prompts we used in examples 1 and 3. After receiving the revised response, we copy the content again. We paste the revised text into 0GPT, and this time the detection drops to 29.91%. A much better score, but we're not stopping there. Now we're going back to ChatGPT with the familiar prompt. Strictly change the sequence of words in every alternative sentence. Let's see how this final revision performs. We copy the updated response. We paste it back into 0GPT, and look at that, a perfect 0% detection. It worked again, and we've successfully humanized the content. So, after going through the same workflow, but this time with a different prompt about fluid mechanics, we achieved the same result, a 0% AI detection. By now, you're probably feeling confident in how this process works. And that's all for this example. Push a request as comment to obtain the specific prompts we've used to humanize AI content effectively. Of course, subscribe, comment, and like if you notice my efforts.